Hello.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
good.
Okay, let me turn up your mic a little tiny bit. Say something?
What's up?
Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. So, alright, maybe do a quick intro. Just say your tag, where you're from, how long you've been playing, goals for the game.
Um, I'm Goodie. I'm from Australia. I play Fox, and I'm hoping to compete in the US at like some point, maybe next year, and kind of show off like some of the things I can do.
Mm hmm. Okay, cool. And, okay, so what are we going to be doing in the lesson today? What's going on?
Um, Apparently, I want to learn how to like. I want to say the Marth matchup, but it's more the SA Nick matchup for me because SA Nick's pretty much the only like top tippy top Marth we have.
Mm hmm.
So yeah, I just want to learn how to like play like versus him.
Okay.
Like I know how to play versus him, but like there's a lot of things that I like really struggle against. So
Okay.
that's just
So where do you want to start? I opened the zip file and there's a few folders.
um we'll probably start with like the set two money match.
Okay.
I think that might be a good start. Set one money match might be a good one as well, but I think I played a little better in set two.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then I think the other one, the maybe best I've played versus Nick. Some of those games might be worth looking at after. But yeah, we'll start with this set two.
Okay. And I played him in a few friendlies before, so I have a
Yeah,
somewhat understanding of how he
yeah.
plays. Okay. Is the screen share working?
Uh, yeah, it's fine. I also wrote down like a few notes just like in advance.
Okay, that's good.
I need to finish writing one. Uh,
Yeah, we can do things in whatever order or whatever you're most comfortable with for learning. Hello?
yeah, hold on. One sec. Um, so this is basically what I wrote.
Okay, let me see.
It was just like a few notes I
Okay. Um,
noted down while like playing.
okay, I'll just like
Oh,
read it really quick and then we'll go over it more as we go over the stuff. Let's
yeah.
see, Nair into corner, corner pressure, both escaping and pressuring Nick in the corner. Okay, recovery, playing around Marth Nair, how I play neutral, and what things I should do in certain spots that I'm not doing. I keep dashing into late fair, especially when I want to overshoot after he nairs. Okay. Defense, certain spots where I may be able to slide off, escape a punish, but I don't. Marth run up F smash into corner. Okay. Bad movement. I keep air dodging when trying to wave land. I think this is a result of me putting myself into a bad position and then panicking and trying to get out quickly. Play with a lot of fear, lots of dash dancing in the center, but not actually threatening anything. If he ends up approaching, I don't actually respond really well and usually end up getting hit slash grabbed. Also gotten a little better at this since making this note. Okay. Committing to grab often, risky and often leads to dying. Constantly being aggressive out of scraps. Bad at dealing with nair, retreating fair. Bad at dealing with wave dash out of shield, especially out of the corner. Okay, run off fair side plat into up tilt slash dash back if the fair whiffs. If I avoid the fair, I usually get hit by the up tilt anyway. Okay. I have some ideas based just off of that, but we'll kind of see. You can kind of point it out if something comes up
Yeah,
in the matches that look like that.
yeah. You're
Um,
probably gonna hear me use a lot of the word trolling or grief when I look at my own gameplay, but yeah.
mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. So, yeah, this is like already like a thing. Like, basically, if you are, and it's kind of stage dependent, but it's pretty much on most stages, is that like, if you're past the center line, you don't want to shine Marth out of drill. because almost all the time he will just go to ledge. And that's what happens here, is you're like kind of in the corner and you shine him, and you might have been able to get like some kind of wave dash down tilt follow up or something, but if he fast fell here, you weren't going to get anything. And I think that people sort of underrate how good drill grab is against Marth. Like, he doesn't have a shine, and it's like he has to time a dash back, and even then you kind of got him. I think drill grab is really good here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so this happens. Let's see that. It's fine. There was that fair up tilt.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, if you time this correctly, you can just always hit it. Like, it's not that fast that it doesn't work. Like, right here, you were definitely slow, and that's why he got you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so if you were a little bit faster here, you can definitely get it. I think I like going for instant drill here, or like dash JC shine stuff, or grab is sometimes good here too. But I think basically, like, either go super fast or just sort of bait the up tilt. But I just don't think that like, this isn't like a position where you need to get a lot of punishes. Like, just like the fair off in general.
Yeah.
So the point of the fair off, or just like Marth falling fair off a platform, or like late fair in general, it's not really like a super punishable case. What you want to do, or what I think is the best way to sort of line it up, is to just be like, okay, I will never get hit by the fair. And that is like that's like the most important part, is to never get hit by the fair. And then maybe like 1 out of every 10 times, you're in a spot where you get like a clean punish on the fair. That's like what you want, where it's just, because like from the Marth end, you just want it to feel like every time they do a fair, maybe they feel a little bit of pressure to do an up tilt, you know, maybe they feel a little bit of pressure to dash back or do something a little dumb, because you just kind of vaguely threaten it. And then like every once in a while you'll have a good spot to punish, and like that just sort of makes, like, if you think of it from the Marth perspective, it just feels really bad, because it feels like, well, these fairs aren't doing anything, and I occasionally get punished. But if the fair is like 50-50ing or whatever, and kind of gets you sometimes, or maybe the fair up tilt gets you sometimes, Marth doesn't really have any motivation to like stop doing it. But it's one of those things, just kind of like, as long as you just make it like a net negative for Marth over time, without being really like, without getting hit by it, he'll just sort of slowly realize it's not a good idea. But it's not something that you can punish every time.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, there's the run-up F smash.
Yeah, so the thing with the run-up F smash is, like, it's just bad. Like, like, he didn't get much out of this, or he wouldn't have if you just, like, teched it. I understand it's, like, really hard to tech that, so I'm not surprised at all that this was, like, a mistech. But, like, the way to play neutral against Marth is very unique in the game. So, and it's based off of the way that Marth plays neutral. Marth doesn't play neutral off of threat zones, really. Like, Marth is not trying to, like, judge what you can do and then move to, like, a better position. A lot of the stuff that Marth does has to be kind of... what's the word for it? Like, basically, there's a lot of times when Marth has to sort of dash dance in unsafe situations. And so they get really used to doing that a lot, where they do kind of stuff like this, where, like, after this up tilt, like, yeah, Marth could get totally bodied for this, but he's used to just sort of dashing in this super unsafe way to hit you here. And the reason why this works, and the Marths love to abuse this, whether they know it or not, is that, like, you're playing based on threat ranges, but they're playing based on, especially S.A. Nick. He's very, very... I got annoyed playing him because he's so far into this, whereas, like, they are playing purely off of decisions in their head, where, like, basically after this up tilt, he just sort of, like, made the general decision of, like, I bet you're gonna dash back into the corner, so I'm gonna run across the whole stage and just hit you. Yeah. And something I actually learned from watching Josh Man, like a lot. I think he's really good at the way he plays this matchup. If you watch him play like Kadoran or whatever, is that he doesn't play based on threat ranges. He just plays like a purely decision based neutral, like where he's just like, I'm gonna move here, and then I'm gonna move here, and then I'm gonna do a bait, and then I'm gonna hit
you.
And I think
we talked about that. He does like a lot of baits.
Okay, good. Like, yeah. So I think that it's just okay, so basically you want to use Fox's advantages in like scrambles and stuff like that. So you do still want to play a little bit of that like reactive game. But the kind of macro game you have to play against Marth is this very much like decision-based game where like there's nothing you could have really seen from him that would have indicated this forward smash. Like you can't see the forward smash coming and move to a position where you'll like beat the forward smash. And so like if you try to play that like reactive positional game, you basically just become really easy to manipulate for Marth. And especially when they lean in really hard to this decision-based play, because like they're able to just look at the position and be like, well, if I move in, they'll probably move back, and if I move back, they move forward, and like that type of thing. And it makes you predictable within like that framework they use. So I think like I don't want you to worry about like how to deal with the run-up forward smash as much as like Marth shouldn't really be confident enough to do this forward smash because he should know that you're not playing reacting to his positioning in the same way. Does that make sense at all? It's kind of hard to describe, but if you watch Josh Man, it just makes 100% sense.
You've done like an insanely good job at like making sense of that. It's like a really good way to put it. Because like a lot of my play style is just reaction based, so it's always like, oh, he's here, so I gotta do this. Like I'll make reads like, oh, I hear you might dash back.
It's kind of like a it's like there's no wrong decisions except the one that Marth reads. Because there's so much time that Marth spends moving around and not actually like putting out moves. So like his spacing doesn't really threaten anything in the same way that like maybe Falcon does, where he's like naring constantly or throwing out stomps constantly or something like that. Okay, and then the thing with Marth Nair is that Marth Nair is really similar to the Fair. Where
I'll punish it.
You mostly just don't want to get hit by it. And so here's the thing, and it's the same thing with the Fair, is you basically are allowed to get really close to Marth without getting hit by the Nair. And you get to put yourself at a range where Fox just has like a literal advantage. So I went over this in the Zuppy lesson, and this was a concept I actually developed a couple years ago to help Cody with Zane. And I told Zuppy about it, and he basically just started beating all the Marths that he played, like from then on. And so it's the concept of like, I call it Tether Theory, and it's basically the idea of when you are far away from Marth, everything's chill, and when you're right in Marth's face, everything is chill. And in this middle range, the middle range is where you can bait Marth, but he can also do stuff like run up forward smash and stuff. And so it's really tempting to want to be like, well, I want to spend... Like, you have to spend time in the mid-range, but you don't want to spend that much time in the mid-range because you become more vulnerable to stuff like dash attack and stuff like that. And so the mid-range is really just to get you to the close range. And so when you win, like, if you're in mid-range and Marth does like a nair or something, you don't want to see that nair as a way to convert the mid-range into a hit. If Marth throws out a nair and you can kind of see the spacing, all that is an excuse to get close to Marth. And once you are close to Marth, that's when I call like the tether activates, and basically you just hook up like this like tether to Marth, and the idea is you do not go back to the mid-range at all, ever. Like, your goal, as soon as you are in the close range against Marth, is to win every situation by being cracked.
Okay, that is a horrifying thing because I'm like really terrified of Marth, and I think you'll see that. Like,
Well,
slow
Marth
watching.
needs to be afraid of you. The only reason
Yeah.
you're afraid of Marth, and I used to be the same way, is because you're trying to outplay him in the mid-range like you do every other character,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
has unreactable options that hit you playing in the mid-range. So what happens is you dash dance in the mid-range, he accepts, he also dash dances in the mid-range, and then you're looking, and you're like, I'm going to do something in reaction to what Marth does, and then he hits you.
Wow. Okay.
That's like this is like an extremely common problem in the Marth matchup, and this is like why I developed this idea.
Yeah.
And so basically, as soon as you're in close to Marth, it's Marth's job to break the tether. So Marth then has to get away from you. And if Marth really wants to scrap, like he wants to throw out moves and stuff like that, he can, but it's like an 80-20 losing gamble for him. Like,
Yeah.
Fox drilling and dash... And the thing, it's not that you just want to, like, hold forward, because you can dash dance a little bit, but you just need to pick a mix-up. Be like, I'm going to dash dance for a little bit, and then a drill, and then dash away. You know, and just, like, spam those as fast as you can, while trying to stay on top of Marth.
Okay.
And that is... And basically, eventually, Marth will make a decision where you, like, short hop to the left, and Marth dashes to the right, or something like that. And then as soon as it goes back into this mid-range thing, the tether is broken, and you have to recognize that, and then get an outplay to get back into the close range. Don't immediately run from mid to close, because if you do that without an outplay, he'll just hit you with his nair wall. That's how he gets foxes with the nair wall, is they try to go from mid-range to hitting with a nair, and his nair blocks that. But his nair wouldn't block you if you were right and close. You would just, like, stuff him.
Okay.
So I know it's like a lot of like theory stuff, but
Yeah. No.
I'll try to tie it down like right here. So basically, if Marth does something like this, you don't want to be doing this dash back here. You want to be like right here. The better, you, like the amount that you can get close to Marth's fair and nair without getting hit is like one of the pillars of skill in this matchup as a spacey.
Yeah.
And so basically you want to be close enough where, like, let's say instead of right here, okay, let me see, right here. So let's say instead of where you were when he lands, let's say you were right here doing this dash back. He is just, he's done for. He's dead. It's over. Like, you're gonna do something, and he is going to suffer.
Alright.
And so once you're in that position, you can do it. But what happens here is, and at that close range, his dash back is useless. Like if he lands this nair and you're actually right here as this nair lands, his dash back is not even a thing. It's just like he can reposition himself for you to hit him.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And so what happens here is when he nairs, this will happen, where he'll nair and he'll drift back, and you'll think he was coming in further with the nair, and this is like a mid-range situation, and you just have to be really, like, when you're in the mid-range, you just have to play based on pure decisions. Don't be like, I'm scared of Marth doing an option, so I need to full hop to the platform. Or Marth is going to do this. Don't, like, be afraid of it. Just, like, pick an option and do it, and try to keep yourself safe enough that maybe out of that mix-up, you'll get a close situation where you can start the tether. And, like, once you get a tether, you can just destroy Marth's whole stock, if you can get good at maintaining it. And, by the way, this is how Cody plays the matchup, too, after basically, I watched him do it, and he didn't know he was doing it, and I like sort of broke it down and then told him how to do it, and now he does it even more, and it just works wonders against the character. Okay, so when you're in this mid-range, he drifted back, you have to just play a pure decision here. Don't think that like Marth is gonna land out of this nair and he's gonna do another option, and I have to defend myself from that option. Just be like, as long as I don't do what Marth expects here, I will win. That's all you have to think. Just do something tricky, and Marth literally can't handle tricky things at all.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, so he takes advantage of the fact that you're too far away by stalemating with the dash
And
away.
then he knows I'm gonna try to like attack with spares.
He knows the what?
He knows. He like. Got 1 second. My mom is being annoying.
Say that again. Sorry. Hello? Yeah, it seems like the connection is going bad a little bit. Can you hear me? Okay, seems like there might be some kind of internet issue. Okay, it's 5:20. Oh, hello?
No, my mom came in.
Oh, okay. So you just like muted. It was funny because like right before you muted, I guess, like there was like a bunch of like static on my end, and so it was like, and then it like went out entirely. So that's why I assumed that something was wrong. But okay, no problem.
And my mom just brought me a hot chocolate.
Your mom said what?
My mom gave me a hot chocolate.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Okay. So yeah, when you dash in here, it's fine that like Marth dashes back. You're just still in like this decision-based neutral where you just want to do something tricky and it doesn't really matter what.
Yeah.
This shield I think is fine. You just get poked. Like you actually read him here, and like if you had just not angled your shield, because it looked like you probably ran in and tried to like crouch and then shield it or something, because it looked like you were angling your shield down a little bit.
Yeah.
But basically, if you hadn't done this, this was like a perfectly good way to play this right here. Because you would have just shielded this, nair out a shield, and you might just literally kill him out of that. So, no complaints there. That was good. You just got shield poked. Aha. And see, this is the advantage of a tether situation. And that's why you got to recognize it. Right here, it's like, wait a minute, I'm tethered. Like, you will win every single possible mix-up until Marth either gets to ledge or creates more space. And he's in the corner, so there's no space to make. Like, you win right here. This is like a 90-10 situation for Fox.
He's probably gonna wave dash out a shield here.
Yeah, so you going for this wave dash away is good, and he whiffs, and you just can immediately punish and hit him, and then hit him, and then you get like an edge guard. And it's like, that is this matchup, is like, you got close, and he just can't do squat.
God, these
Yep.
tags.
And so yeah, shielding the forward smash was good here. It looks like he's getting a little desperate. Yeah, shielding after the dash attack was definitely good. Grab for him isn't great here, so definitely a big fan of this shield. You definitely could have just wave dash out forward smashed here. Or sorry, up smash, wave dashed out up smash. I think going for the shine is like okay. Oh, Ram Kev TFT, thank you for the raid. Okay. So, I guess this is just like a weird spot. I do understand why you did this. I think you thought he was, like, you were trying to do wave dash behind him and then wave shine up smash. Totally fine. That's fine. I looked like that was more just like a flub. Okay, it happens. That was strange. Don't disrespect Marth on ledge here.
Yeah.
Like, most of the Marth don't do it, but there's like a fair that Marth can do here, where the fair is just invincible and he lands one frame after it comes out. So he'll just be able to fair you here and grab, and you can't actually do anything.
Okay.
The right solution to Marth being on ledge, like, is to abuse the fact that he can't avoid getting tethered because he can't dash back.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of chill over here, and then once Marth gets back on stage, be like, I'm going to play a mid-range situation where you have less options because you can't retreat. And I'm going to use that mid-range to get in your face, and then I'll shine grab you, and then blah, 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 you know?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, tech flub.
Doing a lot of fairs. I'm pretty sure none of these are intentional. I think they're supposed to be drills, but I don't know, my C-stick might be fucked.
I see, yeah. No worries. I'll keep a note of that. Little bit of a panic recovery, but I do understand because it's Marth. I don't know. There's like a ton of things you could have done here because you're at like kind of like low percent. Like you could have, like I think a good, like you could have double jumped here and then air dodge to platform. You can you can air dodge to the stage. You can low side B shorten and grab edge. It'll go under like his jab a lot of times. You can
I think I do end up mixing it up a little more.
You can up B kind of high. This side B is actually not super duper bad, except for the fact that, like, it's out of this situation. Because think about it, if you're like the Marth here and you hit forward smash, you're like, oh, that fox is panicking. Like, they're not going to do a patient recovery. And then that's why he does this, to beat this exact side B. So this is just a little risky because it was like a weird forward smash. But it's very minor. That's very minor. Okay. Oh, dude, look at this. When you get in close range, he's just like, what do I do? You just win this. So good job. That was especially that up air was insanely good. So good job there. Okay, nice. Keep in mind it's 0 at like this percent. Really, you kind of want to short hop up air this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't get reversaled like this, because that'll happen quite a bit. So right here, this is definitely an instance of, like, this is like that, like, decision-based thing where, like, Marth can't force things, really. So, like, when he's here and you know that he's late, and Marth knows that he's late, like, he knows you have frames to do something. He's not just gonna, like, Falco Dare in or Fox Nair in or something. Like, he actually, like, Marth is kind of weak here. Like, he seems super strong. Like, he has a strong advantage position of just playing center, but he doesn't have, like, the pressure that other characters have here. The only pressure Marth has is the late fair here, and if he's not jumping, like, if Marth jumps at you right here, there's only one answer to it. And okay, what am I gonna say? Because you're like, there's only one answer, right? So what is it?
Okay.
There's one answer. There's one little answer.
So him jumping in this position, dash under.
Go to ledge and ledge dash. Anytime you are in the corner and Marth empty short hops towards you, it is, sadly, the only working option to go to ledge and ledge dash. But it puts you in an advantage. Like, I've been over this with Cody like 100 times, just because we've tried so hard to find any other answer, and there is no other answer in the game. So,
dash under work?
Huh?
Why doesn't dash under work when you show
dash under doesn't work because by the time by the time you can react to the short hop, you can't determine whether he's full drifting at you or like neutral jumping forward, and he does a lot of these like neutral jump forward fairs right here, and if you try to dash under, you just die.
Okay. And
even if you full hop to the platform, a lot of times his empty hop will let him up air or fair you. And so like, what I'm telling you is that this has just been tested like 5 million times, and we can't. Maybe in the future, someone will come up with a secret option that beats Marth empty hop here. Yep. But basically, if you're here and Marth empty hops, and you'll be able to see him empty hop. I'm saying if you react, don't read it. If you see him go up in an empty hop, your only real hope is go to ledge and ledge dash, and you literally are going to win there. So just keep that in mind. But if he doesn't jump, like if you haven't already noticed that he did an empty hop here, this is like a tether almost. Like it feels awkward because you're like, but he was just at advantage, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Marth is playing the decision based game here. He's trying to bait you spot dodging or full hopping or running in. He's trying to bait things here. He just has to play neutral here. So you can just be like, oh, I tethered you, and just dash in and do whatever you feel like to him. And that's why he does this wave dash back, is because and like, look at this. I just want you to look at all these situations where Marth is not dash dancing to, like, avoid your threats. He's just doing things that are based on decisions. So he wave dashes back, try to get a decision, and then it's like, this wave dash in is what he wouldn't want to do here, because you could just fall on him. And then he just dash dances like this, and he's trying to get you to drop him back here so he can get you. So all of that is, like, decision-based stuff on his end, and none of it has a hitbox. Like, this whole sequence that he does after this forward smash. Or, sorry, the down air. After the down air. He doesn't have a single hitbox the whole time. He's just a moving hurt box. Yeah. It's just important to, like, transition your mentality that, like, after Marth hits you on this down air and he's running in, he's actually just going to be a moving hurt box, moving himself around on the ground trying to trick you. He doesn't actually have anything else here. And you need that confidence to be like, he's close to me, I'm beating him. Like, he's tethered. So your issue here, this is a little bit more of a complex version of like the tether situation, but basically he's terrified that you're up close, which is why he's spot dodging. And this wave dash back is a little bit of a problem because you kind of put yourself more at the limit of the tether, where like dash back will basically, if dash back will beat instant approaching nair, it's not close enough. Because then when you do this, he gets to dash away, and he could have grabbed you or forward smash or do anything here. So you just have to be very aware of that range, that like you don't want to let him get to a position where your instant nair will lose to his dash back. That's kind of a good like benchmark for like whether you're tethered or not.
Okay, yeah. That's like, that seems like really important.
It is.
I don't really play close. A lot of my approaches are from like a really like the mid-range distance you talk about.
Mm-hmm. That's the natural way to play the matchup, and it's part of why we've all just gotten bodied by the Marth for so long. Is because like every natural impulse is like, I'm gonna bait his stuff out, and then you just can't. You just get hit.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Like, the only time Marth becomes predictable is when he's afraid of you hitting him. If you're just dash dancing, Marth's not going to give you anything, or he doesn't need to. Okay, so this is a little different than the fair I was talking about. So this was different where he didn't dash into this fair. So you should basically see this situation as one of those nair things, where you're like, I just want to be as close to him as possible when this fair lands, and then play literally any mix-up. So, like, this barely misses. This was great. And then you come in. Oh, he's so dead. Like, he's so suffering. So there's but you go for more of like a defensive thing here, because you didn't really recognize that this was your offensive advantage state after dodging the fair.
Oh my god, I see so many things now. This is like really, really helpful.
That's awesome. Glad to hear it.
There's like so much fear with the way I play, but I feel like with these things in mind, it's gonna be like, all right, I actually can do something here.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said. I told this stuff to Zuppy, and he just immediately beat all the Marths he was struggling with. I was like, let's go. Okay, so let's see here. Ah, man. So this is a really annoying situation in the matchup, and it's when you hit a back air. Like, basically your options off of the back air are to hit Marth immediately or give up on the advantage situation.
I think most times it's give up.
And you want to give up in a way that looks like you're going to try to hit him, and basically your goal is that he's going to do a fair here to try to reversal you, and you just barely avoid it and try to play the tether again. That's like your best option out of this, unless you can literally combo him. Like, if you could have you could have definitely nared him fast enough here. I'm not expecting you to, because it would have been mad hard. But I'm just saying, like, be really careful on trying to, like, do any sort of, like, either you're going to follow up immediately. You have to be crazy fast, or else you're going to get countered a lot of times, or just fair reversal, or you have to just wait for the fair and then play normal neutral out of it. Because basically, and this is a joke I make all the time, which is that, like, on FD, up throw bear is an advantage state for Marth, because you just up throw bear and he DIs down, and, like, if you try to do anything else out of it, he just reversals you. And it's a joke, obviously, but it's just something to keep in mind, to, like, that it's not it's not something that you can, like, hit him and then just be like, oh, I'll kind of just juggle him now that he's in the air, but he's at a stun. It's like, it's really scary in that spot when he DIs away. Okay. And look at this. Approaching from the mid-range.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
You approached from actually this was like the outer limit of the mid range. So basically, when you're at the outer limit of the mid range, you should like not use moves ever.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's what I got from that.
Your
But I
goal
just
is like when you're in the mid range. Remember that the mid range is like a danger zone, kind of.
yeah,
So your options are either use the mid range to try to get an outplay to get in, or literally just exit because you can be safe far away, and then
yeah,
you can try to because what people will do or what you can do that's good is you're like this is mid range. I'm not a huge fan of mid range, and I want to get close range, but I get the feeling that Marth is like gonna nair forward or something, right? Where you're like,
yeah,
it's kind of like what happens here, but like imagine Marth is nairing forward or like directly countering this by moving forward. That's
yeah,
why you move back, is because you go, okay, we're in mid range. I'm gonna create long range as a read that Marth will come in, and then when he comes in, you can kind of re-engage the mid-range and try to push it closer to like a close range by like leaving, and then he comes in as you come in, and maybe you both come in together, and then you're a little bit closer to him type thing.
yeah.
Those are your two options. You don't really want to like dawdle in this like mid-range too much. It's really just like either we're going from mid-range away or mid-range to close, and that's it.
Okay.
And let's see. Yeah, they're always doing this. When Marth jumps up to like this, and they have this like there's a reason why they do this jump, and it's because they're always looking for an edge cancel, and there aren't really counters to this downer edge cancel. So I just kind of treat this. I just as annoying as it is that he can get away with it, basically, unless you react to this super fast and you can get a bear out while he's like really high up.
Yeah.
I treat this kind of like he's just doing like a runoff fair type thing, where I just like
Yeah.
like I would try to just avoid this.
Okay.
How did he get away with this?
He gets away with that a lot. He always buffer rolls out of my shine grabs.
Not that. How did he get away with going to the platform? Oh, the nair barely missed, and then you were forced to respect the fair. Okay, no. This is fine. It was because the nair barely missed. I was just like, how did that all happen? Okay. So this is a situation that is a little suspect to attack in because look how far away you are from the fair. This means that you can't immediately approach after the fair. Because you're not like you need to be where like your nose is like right here, and you'll be able to tell where like oh he barely missed that one, and then it's time to like attack.
Okay.
Maybe not immediately press in, because sometimes they'll do this fair up tilt. So sometimes when you get the close range, it's like you got the close range, and Marth knows. So then you just do like a little dash dance and then go in. Like you win every mix up if you can get close enough to this fair barely missing. But you have to be able to recognize that like this is the mid-range. Like, he whiffed a fair at mid-range. You are not allowed to attack directly. What you can do is make him think you're going to attack directly. Like, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a bad attack here. And all you do is just move forward to here, and then he might get cornered, and then he might get tethered, you know?
Yeah.
So, but attacking from here, he has space in the corner to fight. So I'm just trying to give you a way to like categorize these like errors of like that was like an approaching aerial from the mid range, and that's why you don't do those. Okay, and then you're here. Full hopping does not beat Marth's corner pressure, and this is why the ledge here is such a big deal. And so first of all, you always want to be facing center stage when you're cornered against Marth. You don't want to have your back facing him, because you can't get to ledges easily. And so like you're kind of in this spot, and basically you want to be on the ground here, and you want to be making this decision of like, is he so deep in the corner that I can't avoid the fair by like dashing? And then so let's see, it looks like if you were perfect, you could have somehow gotten to the corner and avoided this fair. But I personally would not have trusted myself to hit this dash dance, so I would have wanted to go to ledge here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of bad out of the corner because a lot of the time I end up like just like trying to force my way out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just run out and try to escape. Like it's like you said, where like the whole tether thing. Like you can see I'm close to him, but instead of like taking advantage of it, I just try to get back to center instead of like taking advantage.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because that's the thing is like when Marth is corner pressuring you, he doesn't want to be too close because then you might just hit him. And so he wants to be kind of at this nice range where he's like walling aerials and you're kind of stuck in the corner. And that's kind of just like the whole mix-up is like against Marth, you can kind of just choose a moment to run out of the corner. Like just count to 3 and do it because like he's not actually covering most things that are happening. He can only cover things that like look rational. So as long as you just do like a weird timing, you can usually run out. Otherwise, you can be like, I'm kind of... Because the thing is, if you kind of tell Marth, like, I kind of want to come out of the corner, he'll like be a little more conservative with his fares like right here. Because he like doesn't want to get too close, right? So he wants to wall his fares like kind of at this. You're like, here I come, I'm coming out of the corner. And he's like, all right, I'll back off with the fare a little bit. And then you're like, nice, now I don't have to go to ledge. I can let you whiff your fare with me right next to you. And then, you know, if he whiffs a fare and you're mad close and you just dash past him, it's like he can't like react to that, you know? And then so basically you're kind of playing that game. You don't want to jump. He wants you to jump really badly. Don't jump. So you can kind of use your space to make him be a little conservative, get like a tether and push out. Or you try to act like you're going to take your space and he doesn't buy it and he short hops really far at you. You just go to ledge and ledge dash. And then like if he's in the air and you go to ledge and ledge dash, he can't like get away fast enough. You're guaranteed like an intangible tether situation. It's like a definite advantage for you. Oh yeah, and this is the thing. Remember, if you ever get random forward smashed, just don't panic. Just be like whatever.
Pretty sure.
And remember, you can always go to ledge and ledge dash. He can't stop you. Okay, but yeah, important to keep this in mind that you jump at this range. This is that same mid-range. Never attack from this range. It's okay to jump here, actually.
Yeah.
Because you could have just double jumped away afterward if you did an empty hop. But you started your drill here. I also tell people this. Never start your drill before the peak of your jump. Just like ever. Like, there's no reason to start your drill early because, like, it's not going to do anything if they jump anyway.
Lex in chat, he always yells at me for doing aerials way too quick.
Yeah, so always wait until at least the peak of your jump because that's kind of the use of Fox's full hop is that like he can jump and observe and then if you do something dumb he can hit you and if you don't he just leaves. But if you jump in and full hop down air, this is just like a really bad reactable aerial. So
yeah, this made me realize just how many shitty approaches I do.
So, okay, so let me just break down this situation really quick. So you get Marth in the corner. This is good, even though you messed up your combo tech skill. And so there's not really a reason to dash back here.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can just take big range here, but he's already all the way in the corner, so there's not really... I just feel like you kind of have a frame advantage, too. There's no reason to really back off here. Yeah. So then he goes for this wave dash in down tilt. But, dude, this is the wave dash down tilt of a Marth that just knows that you're scared of him. And I hate seeing this. Because this shouldn't work. This shouldn't work. Like, he should not be... Like, if he was in the corner against Plups Fox, he would not be like, I'm going to wave dash and down tilt. He'd be like, here he comes, you know? And that's what you want. You want Marth, when he's in this spot, to feel like, here comes Fox.
Okay.
Even if you don't do anything, you need it to feel like that. Because, okay, so he does this down tilt, and you space around the down tilt okay. Because here's the thing is, it's kind of like the nair and the fair, where the dash back you did to avoid the down tilt was good. But it wasn't like... And you're never going to be able to get the frame perfect one on purpose, or like the really close one, but you can observe it. And when you see the really close one happen, that's when you go in. But if you see this one happen, and it's kind of a mid-range, you have to sort of recognize that, like, you don't have a tether just because Marth down tilted here. Like, this is definitely a mid-range, which is why he's trying to defend himself with this fair. Is because he's like, I want to stop Fox from going from mid-range to close range. And that's why... And you sort of just lost the mix-up here. This wasn't necessarily, like, a horrible decision-making. It was just I wanted to show you that, like, you were in mid-range, and you seemed really aggressive, so he tried to stop you from getting close range. And that's just, like, kind of on you to outplay him in neutral there more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta start doing short hop up there. I never do short hop up there.
And this is, like, a thing. This is good against, like, every character except for Marth. Not this up tilt, which is not really good against most characters here. But right here, where you do this dash into the corner and then dash in full hop here, good against everybody in the whole game except for Marth, and maybe Falcon. Like, it's really horrible against Marth. It's like the one thing that you don't want to do here. So one thing, and I'm sure it'll happen now that you have a little bit better of, like, a framework, but you need ground confidence. Like,
okay, yeah.
Like, if you just imagine you're Marth here, what can Marth do to Fox dash dancing here? What can he do? Just think about it. Like, what's he gonna do? If you're the Marth, and, like, how are you gonna kill Fox in this spot?
He probably would try to dash grab me.
Yeah, so he's like, but he can't just dash grab, because he might get, like, drilled or something. So it's like, he's either gonna do some dumb forward smash, which is like, not that good, because Fox might be doing this here, or you might get some... He's probably gonna do, like, a fair approach into the corner or something like that. You just don't have something to, like, immediately be afraid of.
Yeah.
You're treating it like things have, like, an immediate consequence, but Marth is always about, like, the one past the immediate consequence.
Yeah.
Where, like, he gets you in the corner, and then you're in the corner, so you do this full hop, and then he hits you for the full hop. He doesn't really just insta-punish bad situations like that. And it's important to keep it in mind that, like, when you are in a mad defensive situation against Marth, he has a big advantage. He still has to play decision-based melee there. And so you can beat him with decision-based melee. It's obviously a bad position. I'm not saying this is good for you. This is definitely a bad position, but just know that he can't, like, immediately crush you.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that full hop out is bad. Okay, so you get this. Okay, nice. Oh, that was so good. That was a freaking amazing combo. Good job. I would have never done this combo in a million years. Like, I would have always just up-aired here, and then he would have DI'd left, and I would have gotten nothing. But you do the nair, and he DI's hard left, like they do.
Yeah.
And then you get the up tilt, and then I would have naired here to get, like, nair up smash or something, but you just up-air. He doesn't expect that, and then you single hit this one. Immaculate. Excellent combo. Okay. And this just didn't really have a reason. Yeah. Yeah.
There's me jumping again.
This is that spot where you're just like, with this, you just go to ledge. Like, if you're in this spot, you just go to ledge, and then it's like, if Marth tries this, so, like, right here, just short hop back to ledge or wave dash to edge, and then immediately ledge dash off, and he will be in a horrible spot, and you might just literally kill him for doing this, because they love this fair here, because it completely shuts Fox in the corner down, except for the ledge dash. Okay, somehow he's missing that. Okay. You also do the exact same rhythm on all of your up throws. Like, you just do, like, the I practice Uncle Punch immediate up throw up air.
Yeah.
But, like, what you can do is, like, there's a bunch of timings on Marth where you can just do up throw, like full hop, and then, like, up air, like, now, you know? And kind of hit him a little bit later and stuff like that. So that's another thing, is I just don't just up throw brainless same timing up air every time, because it just makes it so easy to STI out of his Marth.
All the people in chat, they're, like, pretty much the main 3 people I play. So, like, they will all know most of my habits. Like when I play McLeod, I like always try to mix up my up air timing because he plays on Smashbox, so he just SDIs the shit out of fucking everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Rupert as well. He also plays Marth, and I think a lot of the time he gets hit by that up air, and like I mean he does SDI sometimes, of course, but like Nick, he's like the only person I play that like hits SDI as consistent, like with the exception of McLeod.
Well, it's probably because the other people you play are just mashing it, and then Nick is just tapping it at the exact timing. Because I've played Foxes. Like, my friend was just learning Fox, and like a few months ago, and basically he was just up throw up air me, and I would SDI like every up air for like an hour, like literally, because he just does the exact same timing every time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But basically, if you mix up the timing, there's a lot of like mental damage too. Like when you up throw and then they SDI and then they just miss the SDI because you delay the timing, and then you're immediately coming at them for the next up air. There's just like a lot more fear in the Marth's brain than like, I just gotta hit the SDI, it's no big deal. They're like, oh, I already missed one, like, you know, things could be going really wrong for me.
I try to mix it up in a lot of situations, but I feel like those early percents where I grab him, I don't really know how to change the timing. Like, especially when he goes straight up.
At like low percent?
Yeah, I don't...
Well, like, basically, you don't, like, you shouldn't be practicing true combo up airs on Marth. Yeah. That's like the truth.
Yeah.
Because like if you want a true combo Marth, there's only one timing. But the late one can catch his double jump. Sometimes you'll miss and he'll double jump anyway and you get like a better shark. Sometimes you'll up air late and he'll try to like fair reversal, or a lot of times you just up throw and they're just mashing their SDI and they just like won't do anything and you'll just get to hit them.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Okay. So also just watch Marth. Just watch Marth. Marth comes down, wave dash back, just hoping that Fox does a mid-range approach, then dash dance for a bit, seeing what happens, sees that you're just dash dancing at this range, which is actually fine. You're actually a little bit too far for Marth to punish here, but he doesn't realize this, and so he's like, dash attack's unreactable. I'm just going to throw out this dash, or he does the nair first, and he notices you keep doing it, and then he goes for the dash attack, thinking that you, like, will back off from the nair.
That's a classic. I've, like, he does the same timing kind of on that. I've kind of picked up on that more recently. Mm-hmm. I mean, this set is not that old, but, like, I've noticed that if I just dash dance, he will, like, short hop, late fair, or do a short hop nair, and then immediately dash in. Mm-hmm. So like I can always tell when he's about to dash in because he does it a lot after, like immediately after an aerial or short hop aerial.
I see. No, I know exactly like the type of pattern you mean. So yeah, first of all, like, you don't really like, what are these dash dances supposed to do? You know, they're not really doing much. Like, either you
it's
can
kind of like
what's up?
Just like the thing I just mentioned, where it's just like waiting for him to approach, but I probably shouldn't do that because it's bad. Because like even when he does approach in that kind of situation, I'm not even that good at punishing it. Like I'll probably like throw in plays.
Well, it's very difficult to punish Marth in those types of situations, which is why we don't do that. Yeah. So either stay back, get a couple lasers for free, maybe go to the platform, you know, move around, and then like that's either that, like kind of this stalemate long range laser type thing, or you're trying to get in. Those are like the only two settings against Marth.
Yeah.
So when you're here and he whiffs this nair, remember that basically, like, if you're gonna read Marth, because you kind of read the full drift in nair here. If you read the full drift in nair and he does it, you get a hit. If you read the short one if you read the long one and he does the short one, nothing happens. It's just literally like neutral continues. But the thing that a lot of people do here is Marth will do this nair and fade back and fast fall or whatever, and then the Fox will try to return. This is, they get people every time with this, is that this is the range. Like, look at here and here. And so he does this nair and he misses. It's a really natural tendency as the Fox player to immediately go to this range to, like, recreate the same like stable spacing that just existed. So like basically you shouldn't be doing this like stable spacing, because that obviously leaves you in the mid-range for an extended period of time to get beat up, which is what you don't want.
Exactly.
But basically this is what happens is Marth does this, he expects you to return to the exact same spacing that you seemed like comfortable with, and that is why this dash attack is here. Just so you know, like, the reasoning in his Marth brain for why this dash attack exists, even if it's like a bad habit. It's that he thinks you're gonna like try to recreate this spacing. And like this is like Marth's developing things that seem to be based on logic, but it's based on the logic of foxes who are playing the matchup wrong. So like this Nair dash attack is bad because you should never be trying to reestablish the range anyway. And because you don't reestablish the range and you just move in, you're in a big advantage here.
Oh my god. Fuck, dude, you're so fucking smart.
It's funny.
God.
Okay, so let's see what happens then. Okay, yeah. So this was like, you kind of had a tether here, like after this, because you're at this range, and so he freaks out, and you kind of start hitting him, and then here's the issue here: you need to recognize that it got broken. You got the tether, but then when you hit this shine and you're in even spots here, it's like it hurts, you know. But like the tether's gone, and you have to just re-get it. And so by going in here and treating it like you still have one, you just go right into his hands.
Okay, yeah.
Good,
I think a lot of the time I like recognize that like, oh, he's not grounded when I shined him, so I kind of dash away. But that time I was just like, yeah, I'll test my luck, which is a lot of what I do. It's just testing my luck instead of just like going for the proper outplay or just.
Okay, so remember to always ledge dash here. I know that it looks tempting, but just ledge dash, please.
Yeah.
Like, I basically think that Fox should never do anything from the ledge except ledge dash.
Okay, yeah. It's hard because there's so many people who just give me freebies.
Yeah.
On ledge.
Yeah, but I mean, it's funny because you're like, well, when I'm on ledge, I can just come off ledge and you know they give those to me. You're like, yeah, because you know, and then you're like, oh, and when they're on ledge, I just stand right by the ledge, because they give those to me, and it's like, dude, like they can't, like, you can't just be winning in all of those, like.
It's hard. It's
just funny.
There's so few people that it's just like, wow.
But you gotta,
something I've never seen before.
If you want to get good at a level beyond like the local community, you have to start something that I used to do pre like net play, back when there was like not as much practice. Because what would happen is I would go to like a major, I would play like a few friendlies with like Leffen or Armada or something, and I would just be like, wow. Like, this is like 2015 or 14 or something, and I was just like, wow, like, they're so effective. Like, they're so good at all these things. I mean, they play so ruthlessly. Like, they don't make lazy decisions like I do,
Yeah.
And then I would go home, and, like, for the first 2 days, I would just destroy all my friends who were my practice partners. And I would just be like, yeah, because I would just be imagining them. I had, like, the leftover context from, like, being around Armada or whatever. But what I did is to practice is I would just imagine Leffen right behind me, like, judging me, like, the whole time I was playing. And it kind of helped.
That's what Josh said. That's what Josh said about you. He was like, when I play, I just imagine Fiction just yelling at me behind me.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad I can be that guy for Josh.
He, because, like, he was just grinding heaps during, like, the whole COVID period. And, like, he was pretty much, like, a whole level above everyone else. So all he could possibly do was just like imagine, would this work on a good player? Yeah,
and that's what you should be doing too.
Yeah,
like it's difficult to get good in like a bad region because it's just easy to get good when you're like, I'll choose option A, and they slap you in the face, and you're like, I'm not doing that again. But then when you do option A, and people are like, man, you got me again with option A, and you're like, I'm pretty good at option A, it's just, you have to like ignore your natural human impulses of like the Pavlovian responses to things.
Yeah.
It's really
hard.
difficult. It's really, really difficult. And anyone in like a region like yours is definitely like at a major disadvantage because of that. But, you know, it's not impossible. We keep
Yeah.
seeing people do it. You just have to have the discipline.
I hate the idea of a region like yours, but it's still kind of true anyway. It hurts, but it's true.
That what?
Like you called Australia a bad region. It hurts, but it's true.
I mean, what do you want from me?
No,
Like, not like a
We
bad place, like as a whole.
we do have some crack cunts there, but we're all getting there. There's a few of us working hard, but yeah.
Hey, if it was a good region, it wouldn't be hard to get good there. Like that's the whole thing. You're saying it's mad hard to get good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we're about at an hour, but what do you have any other questions or thoughts on like the stuff we've been over,
Let me
or
just
any
see.
additional thoughts that we didn't like get to or anything like that? Because I feel like we covered a lot of stuff, but obviously there's more
Yeah.
we didn't get to. I don't know. I'm just curious
Um,
if you have any thoughts.
I think pretty much all my problems were just like a lot of the whole tether thing. Like,
Mhm.
I think you've just solved like the most major problem because like that would just be in my head. It's just like fuck. How do I like close space? How do I do this?
Mhm.
Like, it's like oh, it's just get in his face and yeah.
Okay.
I think
Yeah. And I could
giving me
definitely.
like a
Yeah. Go for it.
yeah, it's giving me like a brand new outlook on like how to play First Marth. It's just like super helpful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's awesome. And I could definitely tell that, like, when I was saying it, you're like, wait a minute, yeah, yeah. Like, I could tell you were getting it. So that's really good.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, so try this out. Try this stuff out. And, DM me if you have any, like, extra questions or, like, a clip of something weird or
Okay.
it just keeps working and you're like, yeah, like, just let me know about that. And, I'll send you my payment info in a little bit. But
Yeah.
it was good talking to you. And I
Okay.
hope you have a good one, man.
Wait, one more thing. I
Yeah,
have
go
one
for it.
question actually. Will you come to Phantom?
When is it?
July 15th.
Is it like 1 week after Double Down or before Double Down or something like that?
Pretty sure it's the week after Double Down.
Okay, I mean, I'll look at the plane tickets for it. I've been kind of in a state, like, I was gone in Germany for like a month, and I feel like, so now I've been kind of in like an I don't want to travel mode.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, I kind of need to, like, realign before I'm just happy traveling all over. Because I feel like, but like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'll check with a couple of my friends to see if they're going.
Okay.
Um,
Hope,
I know I probably should have bought the ticket already if I was gonna, but yeah. I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Okay.
Thanks for bothering
All
me
right.
about it, though. We'll see.
All right. Thank you for this. This is like extremely helpful.
Awesome, man. Peace.
All right. See ya.